Am I the asshole? For saying I don't want kids, I want money at the dinner table and offending my sister? My sister has a 5-month-old baby. Her and her boyfriend are not struggling financially, but their standard of living has very much decreased since giving birth. They can afford the necessities, but they can't go on vacation, can't go out to eat and can't afford a babysitter. They also just moved into a cheaper apartment. My mom has been asking my sister and the baby to move in with her so they can save money. My sister said no. For more context, my sister's boyfriend makes a little less than minimum wage. He only works part-time at a restaurant to focus on creating his music. When my sister announced they were trying for a baby, my mom was really worried, and she's still worried about their financial situation. My sister is the primary income source for their household and my mom has been giving them some money every month. I make a little more than my sister, but I don't have kids. So last night, all of us came together for dinner. My sister kept asking me when I'm going to have kids and I said I don't plan on having kids. She said I'll change my mind, I'm almost 30. I said I probably won't and she kept pressing me on why. I finally just said I don't want kids, I want money, and she got really quiet. When the dinner was over, she left a voicemail to my mom crying about how I attacked her and my mom is mad at me. My mom wants me to apologize to my sister. To be clear, I do think my sister is in a nightmare situation, but I would have said I wanted money even if she didn't have a baby. I've always thought I'm not meant for parenthood and I'd rather just be the cool, fun aunt that travels a lot and buys big presents for my nieces' nephews. I didn't mean to insult her and I've never once commented on her financials or relationship because it's not my place. Am I the asshole? And should I apologize? Not the asshole. This is one of those things where context matters. If you were sitting at dinner and just randomly blurted out I don't want kids, I want money, that would be a nothing to say to your sister. But when she starts asking when you're gonna have kids, and especially when she refused to drop it, she's asking for a response like this. Not the asshole, she shouldn't have kept pushing you about having a baby once you had answered her. I hate it when people repeatedly force a question until you give them the answer they want. You don't have to justify not wanting kids to her. Not the asshole. Kids are expensive. You stated a fact. I have two. I'd rather have them than money, but I understand other people have different priorities. But I think your sister's question was obnoxious. It's wrong to ask someone when they're going to have a baby. Some people don't want children. Others struggle with infertility. Some people want to be married first. But the fact is that nothing could be less anyone else's business than another person's family planning. Not the asshole still reliant on mommy for money, throwing tantrums, and crying to mommy over nothing? So very mature enough to raise a child, good luck to that child, yikes. Hopefully she's not usually like this. She said I'll change my mind. The only parents who say this seem to be the ones who have some regrets. Nothing wrong with wanting money and not kids. Not the asshole. You were pressed and gave an honest answer about your preferred lifestyle. You did nothing wrong. Your sister did by pressing the question and then not liking the truthful answer. Not the asshole. Don't ask questions you don't want, answers you don't like to. Also, the whole gross pressuring to have kids thing is rude and obnoxious, and frankly people doing it should expect pushback, and for the person they're doing it to not to be very nice about it. It's a personal decision that someone else doesn't get to decide for you. Not the asshole. She asked. You answered. If she didn't want to hear the answer, she shouldn't have asked. If they can't afford a babysitter on a regular basis and can't afford to go out to eat, then how are they not financially struggling? Not the asshole. You told the truth and she couldn't handle it. She chose to press you on a personal topic instead of leaving well enough alone. That's her problem. Do not apologize. What would you even be apologizing for? Sorry, I am prioritizing financial security? No. Stand firm on your beliefs. The thing is, you have years to change your mind and decide to have kids. Adoption is always available. But there is not an undo button on bringing life into the world. It is infinitely better to err on the side of not wanting kids, than to resent your children all their lives. Explain to her that asking over and over about when are you gonna have kids is very annoying, but that you didn't mean to offend her and that you truly feel like you would rather focus on your finances than have a child, and she should respect that, just like you respect her choice to make sacrifices in order to have a child, and that you love your nephew or niece and yada yada yada. Not the asshole. As a 30-something who has never wanted kids and a woman, which makes it worse, I get so tired of "you'll change your mind." Anyone who is pushing you on this deserves a snarky response. I have kids and don't blame others who have decided not to have children. It's not for everyone. And yes, kids are expensive and do drain the finances. Personally, I think anyone who plans on falling pregnant without proper finances is crazy. Not the asshole. She asked you a question about you. You provided her with an answer that was about you. If you didn't make any statement about her personally, she has no right to be offended or even to take office. You don't owe any apology to your sister for honestly answering a question she asked you about you. In fact, your sister seems to be a bit spoiled, is overly emotional regarding something that isn't about her. Advise your mom of this. Tell her it's your sister who owes you an apology for continuously harassing you about your personal life, then whining to mom because she didn't like the answer. Not the asshole. Just because you were honest, and she had a kid with a loser so she feels bad about her life decisions, doesn't mean you're attacking her. Nata. Your sister can freak off. Kids are wonderful when you want them. However, there are sacrifices. Like finances. Your sister needs to back off. Asking about kids is not an appropriate response. She is lucky your mom is helping financially. She made a big mistake having a baby with this guy. No wonder she's so sensitive. Not the asshole. If your sister didn't want your answer, she shouldn't have so loudly and crassly demanded it. I'd ask your mum what she thinks you have to apologize for: your sister's disrespect, her rudeness, her arrogance, her insulting demeanor, or the fact that you answered a question your sister had no business asking. Not the asshole. She asked you, you answered. Then she asked again and again and again. I don't get why people do that. They're not going to miraculously like the answer the third or fourth time they ask. Not the asshole. Your sister is emotionally overwhelmed, sleep deprived, and she worries. She lashed out at you, but she is under a lot of stress. You two should calm down and let it drop. And no one is going to address the fact that this girl was harassing you about a very personal and individual choice. Your sister fucked around and found out. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I hate this so much. The only time I've ever felt bad about not wanting kids is when others made me feel bad about not feeling bad about not wanting them. Your sister made the decisions she did, and we hope they bring her joy. You are making the decisions that will bring you joy. She can be emotional now. She seems to be facing an increasing amount of instability with a partner that isn't prioritizing her and the child. That sucks, but she also seems to have had indicators that would happen. Not the asshole. And I think I've said nearly the same thing myself. Smiley face. Your sister was being rude, not dropping the subject. You merely gave her a definitive answer that stopped the line of questioning. Woman shrugging. Not the asshole. But your sister is. Questions on people starting a family is very personal. Ask once, then STFU. Are you even in the type of a relationship that would make her think that you are interested in starting a family? To quote Homer Simpson. Oh, I have 3 kids and no money. Why can't I have no kids and 3 money? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. She should have respected it the first time you said you didn't want kids. Moreover, your reason is not really a personal attack. She just took it that way cause she's hyper aware of how poorly prepared financially she was to have a kid.